And our first poet that we're going to bring up is Ellen LaFleche. Interesting little story with her, the way I found her through a literary journal that I happened to subscribe to and really liked her poem. And he read the bio, realized that she was a Massachusetts poet, and just followed my Roman nose, which is usually how these things come together. And one thing led to another, and we have Ellen here for you tonight. She has a book or two that she brought with her. She won the Philbrook Poetry Award, which is at the Providence College, the Athenaeum there, a chapbook prize. She's also won the Root Stone Poetry Prize and the New Millennium Poetry Prize, and is the author of 3 books, Workers' Rights, Ovarian, and Beatrice. Please bring up, I will bring up, and please, nice applause for Ellen LaFleche.
They always have to lower it for me. I don't know why. Thank you for coming. I always revere my audiences. I just love my audience. And in honor of that reverence, I'm going to begin with prayer. Prayer for the shoreline after a violent windstorm. Bless the androgynous lobster with its swiveling hips and pugilistic paw. Bless it as it creeps back into the spit. Bless the jellyfish flopping like battered ghosts onto a mattress of seaweed. Bless them as they sleep. Bless the little neck clam that crash landed in its flying saucer. Bless its nude body floating in a lather of salt. Bless the sand, its edges wind-stroked into fringe. Bless that white sand rippling like a rabbinical prayer shawl. Bless the retreating wave as it climbs down a staircase of rocks. Bless the delicate whisper of its bridal lace. Bless the sea glass, smooth as extracted cataracts. Bless the dull glint of those sightless lenses. Bless the heron bending and stretching its scoliotic spine. Bless the 10-legged crab convulsing with orgiastic fury in its beak. Bless the homeless man stumbling in bare feet through the surf. Bless the foam hissing around his ankles like digestive juices. Bless his plastic bucket filled with soda can tabs. Bless the severed claws in his pocket, the starfish in his palm. Bless that man, the stench of cocaine smoke in his lungs. Bless him flopping onto a mattress of seaweed. Bless him as he sleeps. One more prayer. Prayer for a dying ocean. Bless this ocean, its fringed jellyfish opening and closing like vintage purses. Bless them as they fill with sludge. Bless the death bulge of the beluga whale, the rancid melting of its blubber and blood. Bless the mercury that crazed its brain, that innocent mercury. Bless it, forgive it. Bless the sea lion garroted on a fishing line. Bless its staccato barking, the slow, circular jerking of its strangled neck. Bless the slack-jawed shark, thrashing and wheezing on the fisherman's deck. Bless that angel shark, tossed back, finless into the deep. Bless the spreading tentacles of the oil spill, the crabs running on panicked legs to the sand. Bless those crabs, the skeletal crunch of their mad stampeding. Bless the octopus searching for its mate, its arms pushing through ever-warming waters. Bless that monogamous octopus swimming alone. Bless the sea turtle paddling in sightless circles, tumors blooming malignant above its eyes. Bless that old leatherback, remember it. Bless the men hurling barrels of waste over the side of their boat. Bless the swordfish stabbing a barrel with its stiletto head. Bless those men needing money for food. Bless them and remember them now and forever. Amen. This is the only time I'm going to talk and tell a story, but it's a really good story, so I have to tell it. And it's unbelievable, but my husband's here, so he can prove that it's true. So a few summers ago, I took my elderly mom to the Pawtucket Red Sox, which is the minor league ball team, to see the future stars of our beloved Red Sox. Wonderful day. We're in the stands getting ready, and the umpire said, play ball. And instead of ball players coming out, a group of nuns came out of the dugout. They did. It was just amazing. And the Mother Superior went to the mound and threw out the first pitch. And they never said why the nuns were there, but I guess they were being honored for their service to the community as nurses and teachers. So this elderly nun in full robes, down to her feet, got onto the mound and threw a split-fingered fastball that went over the inside corner of the plate, and it was just wonderful. And it was the most amazing thing, and it made me think about the connections between sports and religion and spirituality, and I never got over that nun, and so I've written a lot about her. Okay, this is called The Mother Superior. Opening day, Sister Beatrice throws out the first pitch. Sister ascends the mound, quiets the organist with her palm. The catcher kneels. He needs a goddamn miracle to rise out of this minor league limbo. The stadium lights flicker on, glowing in tiered rows like votive candles. Beatrice is a sister of mercy, but her wind-up is brutal, her leg kick wicked. The faithful fans murmur to see the cool white whisper of holy underclothes. Sister's hooded head spits forward. The catcher's glove opens like a heart, contracts against the fastball's whomp and slam. His head has stopped hoping for salvation, but his heart holds on. The leadoff hitter waits. 20 years since his last confession, but he crosses himself, steps hopefully to the plate. And the Red Sox won the pennant that year in the World Series, so maybe the nun, did her work. I don't know. We'll see if she can do that again. Stephen, this is the one that was in Many Mountains moving, so I'm going to read it for you. Okay, it's called The Dowser. Missing Child, Mystic, Connecticut. Emily smells storm in the damp shivering of her cedar wood shingles. She brews oolong tea and waits. Thunder comes. The ocean stands up, each wave flaunting its lacy white underfoam like a can-can dancer. Lightning sizzles down a telephone pole. Emily feels the jolt zinging down her sciatic nerve. Blue static jumps through the eelgrass. The sky is a dripping black bruise. Emily sips her oolong, waits for Mystic to cleanse itself. She splits a wild apple branch with her pocket knife. The bough thrums with tree energy, sweet juice running sure as blood under warm green bark. Emily walks through eelgrass, the divining rod fragile in her hands as a throat bone. The police tape ripples, yellow plastic melting into fumes under the sun's yellow heat. Emily walks and walks, waits for the wide-shaped branch to show her the bones. The grave digger. After losing his arm at the mill, Chicky Dubois goes to work as a grave digger. Chicky likes to groom the grave site before he digs. He shaves the lush grass to bone, washes the earth's skin like a surgical prep. An hour before the burial, the grave digger falls into a furious one-armed rhythm, a kind of manic self-love, his empty sleeve panting like the throat of a man who is about to come. His shovel bites earth. Chicky doesn't mind the cellar smell of the hole. When he licks the dust from his lips, his tongue savors the grave's cake, moist blackness. When the hearse glides quiet as a stealth missile into the cemetery, Chicky hides behind the willow tree. Widows do not want to see the gravedigger, but the gravedigger wants to see them. Factory women in black dresses and black high heels that stab his well-groomed grass, their faces stunned bloodless with the swift shock of amputation. And I'm going to read a couple of poems from a chapbook called Ovarian, and it's about a woman's struggle with ovarian cancer, loosely based on the experience of a good friend who had that struggle. The hospice cat walks into room 16B. My thin spine trembles like a suspension bridge. I slink around the IV stand, chin-rubbing the pole to mark my territory. The fool humans think I can smell the sour exhalation of dying cells. But what I smell is memory. Plum pits softening on the compost heap like hearts in love. Coffee weeping bitter droplets into a Pyrex pot. A maple-carved flute releasing its sap on an old woman's lips. My green cat eyes absorb the green numbers on the bleeping monitor, and for a moment the screen goes blank. No heartbeat, no blood pressure, no breath. I smell coyote, a pack of them, fanging the Navajo moon, lamenting. I squeeze through the bed rails, nestle against Julia's exhausted rib cage. My heart beats steady as Zen. I comfort Julia with my silk, cool fur, my purring. Her lover slaps me off the bed. She doesn't open her eyes, but Julia pats the mattress, inviting me back. And this is the last poem in the series after this long struggle, and it's called Midwife Man, written from the perspective of Julia's lover. Julia wants to die in the hot tub, but the fool doctor says no, too dangerous. It's her time. Blood-bagged sky, full moon bulging like a cervix. I boil the water, turn on the pulsating jets, light a patchouli circle of candles. I dress my Julia in her black silk pajamas, detach the morphine pump from her stuttering pulse. She is all skin and eaten out bone, weightless in my arms as a sack of flute song. I sit on the edge of the tub, my bearded legs opening like a woman's, and ease my Julia into water. Her black pajamas blacken. Julia cannot swallow, but she holds a wine glass, the cold stem a remembered pleasure in her hand. Her skull hairs wisp like cilia towards the jets. I hold Julia long after the last breath comes. Wine spills, a red cord trailing from her goblet. I turn off the jets. The water spikes and ripples, spikes and ripples, spikes and flat lines. Sister Beatrice is coming back for more, and this is called Bliss. Sister Beatrice tries to find small pleasures in every room in her convent. In bed, sinking into a water dream, Sister Beatrice feels soft, ecstatic cramping. It begins in the mold folds of her cervix, pushes dreamy blood heat down her mustached thighs. Sister wakes to fragrant red petals, romances of roses on her rough brown sheet. In the kitchen, swaying to the heavy metal beat of cleaver blades, Beatrice takes in the smell of hen bones being severed. Chicken broth simmers. A scrim of oily gold in the pot's copper canyon. Beatrice favors the faint scent of garlic on Sister Veronica's palm. In the chapel, fisting sleep from her eyes, Beatrice sees vivid splotches of color. The sisters chant. The Angelus bell lifts its iron skirt to the clapper. Blobs float behind her eyelids, dark blue souls moving towards enlightenment. In the garden, kneeling with the horse-headed mantis, Beatrice hears the green creak of its segmented neck. Its eye bulges like a crystal witching ball. Beatrice gazes her future, Sister Veronica's veiled silhouette moving through the peony bed. Pearl. The day after scattering her mother's ashes in the ocean, Sister Beatrice goes quahogging. Morningscape. Clouds arranged in blurred bands of coral and pink, like lipstick samples on the back of the Avon lady's hand. 20 years inside that tomb-shaped nun boot, but Sister Beatrice's foot remembers its childhood skill. How to stalk the quahog, big toe trawling the tide like a predator's snout. Cool wind whirling off the waves in salt-loaded squalls. Sister's veil flaps so hard it muffles the crackle of foam, the slap of kelp and jetsam. The clam she captures is still alive, breathy and warm in its hinged brown casket. The clam flesh dampens under her finger, its belly slack as love in its puddle of juice, its elegant neck recoiling from Sister's tender pinch. She knows the danger of eating it raw, but Beatrice swallows, the head-tilted gulp, a pleasure in her throat. No pearl to roll down the esophageal slide, just a tidal rush of sand and delicious clam water splashing under her tongue. Siren call. Finding her mother's favorite ashtray while cleaning out her house makes Sister Beatrice remember how Loretta made herself look beautiful for the mill by applying red to her body, lipstick, fake fingernails, rose-scented cream from the rouge pot. How Loretta sat down with her mermaid ashtray and smoked one last cigarette before dressing, bare shoulders fragrant with shower steam, damp red hair splayed like love against her nape. How the weaving room boss pinched Loretta's bottom and Loretta jumped, and the hair that flowed down her left shoulder snarled itself in the looms. How the machine kept clanging, how it clanged and clanged, extruding Loretta's roots. Her hair became the cloth. How every time after that, when Loretta looked in the mirror, her red-tipped middle finger jumped out of her fist like the cheap flame from her butane lighter. How Loretta sat night after night with the mermaid on her lap. How the smoke twirled up from the ashtray's red ceramic lips, how Loretta's cigarettes steamed to ash in the mermaid's belly, a series of endless creations. Forbidden fruit. Sister Beatrice fantasizes her own death. How Sister Veronica will open the sick room blinds and Beatrice will watch the moon in full fury shaking off its black burqa of clouds. How the night air will smell like smoldering oak leaves just before they burst into smoke. How fever's rank heat will gather under Sister Beatrice's veil, and Veronica will break the convent rule by lifting it tenderly off her head, a kind of triumphant uncrowning. How death will hold Sister Beatrice in layers of breathless bliss, folding and unfolding around her soul like the floral origami of a contracting uterus. How Veronica will catch the last spill of breath in her cupped hands. How the slab of weeping soap will sluice down Sister's limbs, the serpent curve of her spine. How Beatrice will taste Eden's blueness between her teeth, that cool, forbidden juice just underneath the apple's sunburned scalp. Let me check the time. So we will end with prayer like we began. This is prayer to my contractions. Even though the last time I gave birth was 20-something years, I remember. Women know, you don't forget. Prayer to my contractions. Because you come to me slow, tender as a pre-orgasmic trembling, I give you my blessing. Because you spill holy water into my midwife's cupped palms, I honor you with psalms. For the black static pulsing through the hole in my cervix, for the screws winching my backbone inch by inch off the mattress, I give you my thanks. Because my pelvis is an anxious basket waiting to be filled with flame, I give you my praise. Excuse me. For the wild roar pushing out of the throat between my legs, for the stiletto heels stomping in my uterine mud, for the flow of shit and cord blood, I give you my love. Because you stretch my perineum, because you stretch it and stretch it until that fragile muscle ruptures, I hold you in rapture. For the peach-ripe fragrance of newborn scalp, for the heat of milk and sweat and birth muck, for the raw tug of his gripping lip suck, I hold you in awe, now and forever. Amen. Prayer for an old house with a for sale sign in its yard. Bless the DNA in the bones of this home, hair, tears, women's blood. Bless the men's blood, too. The carpenter with his electric nail gun, bless him and remember him. Bless the errant nail that pinned a drop of his thumb blood to the pantry wall. Bless the monsters in the root cellar, potatoes with alien eyeballs sprouting from their foreheads. Bless them. Carrots stiff as cadavers in their boxes of dirt. Bless those carrots and the wild grasses growing from their scalps. Bless the pubic hairs that choke the mouth of the bathtub drain. Bless the tub's chipped white porcelain, the incessant drip of its cold metal nostril. Bless that dripping. Bless this house and its memories of smell, the black mold dusting a forgotten dish towel. Bless its pungency. Bless the fungal reek of the laundry basket, its damp pile of socks and gym pants. Bless the spices browning in butter, the garlic and tarragon, the curry and cardamom. Bless those remembered aromas. Bless the nicotine that seeps through whitewashed walls, the blood-brown reek of it. Bless the middle-aged woman addicted to cigarettes. Bless her and remember her. Bless the smoke that drifted behind her like a shape-shifting ghost. Bless that haunted smoke. Bless the attic with its rat pellets and dismembered spider carcasses. Bless that raftered room. The moths creeping through a box of vintage prom dresses. Bless their ravenous mouths, their persistent DNA. Bless those moths, remember them. Bless this house and its memories of sorrow, the sour tears wept by onions abandoned in their bins. Bless those tears. Bless the young widow pummeling dough like a welterweight. Bless her and remember her. Bless the biceps straining against her sleeves. Bless this house and its memory of sound, the wool scarf drying on the radiator. Bless its soft, sputtering hiss. The swish of lace curtains brushing against Persian cat fur. Bless that lacy whispering. The crash of a milk glass falling from a little girl's hand. Bless that innocent crashing. The cries that rose from sex-wet beds. Bless those cries. Bless each molecule of ecstatic breath. Bless each person who uttered those ecstatic breaths. Bless them. The cries that rose from death-wet beds. Bless those cries. Bless each molecule of agonized breath. Bless each person who uttered those agonized breaths. Bless them. Bless this house and its memories of work. The husband with sandpaper and a bucket of varnish. Bless him and remember him. Bless the hairs on his furred knuckles. Bless those sawdusted hairs buried under layers of polyurethane. Bless the real estate agent with her reading glasses resting on her bosom. Bless that realtor as she sells this home. Bless the new owners cleansing the rooms with smudge sticks. Bless those fragrant sage sticks as they burn. Bless those wisps of cleansing smoke. Bless them and remember them. Amen. And here's our closing prayer. Prayer for an antique bed dragged to the curb with a free sign on its headboard. Bless this rejected bed, its brass bones cooling in autumn's angled noon. Bless the foam mattress, swollen with the long accumulation of human juices. Bless this rejected bed, the strong legs that tremble to the sweet, slow rhythm of tender sex, that stomp to the ragged jazz beat of furious sex. Bless those legs. Bless the snow ruffling the mattress like a blanket of dogwood petals. Bless this rejected bed, the metal sheen of its headboard. Bless those headboard bars gripped and shaken by a woman birthing twins. Praise that laboring woman. Praise her. Praise her twin girls, Mahalia and Jean. Bless this rejected bed, the slatted raft of its ribs. Bless that strong brass raft, the old man who rode that raft and rode, the hoarse-howling man who died of throat cancer, rafting alone. Praise it and him. Bless this rejected bed, the clang of its four-legged skeleton slamming into the back of the junkman's truck. Bless the mattress springs for the rusted music in their coils. Praise those springs for singing in the cluttered bed of the junkman's truck. Praise those springs for singing and singing the morning my mother was conceived. Bless my grandmother's bed, the faded flowers of its sheets. Bless those deathbed sheets, the layers of ice that glue them to the street. Bless that dead ancestral bed. Bless my dead ancestral men and women. Bless the music in their coiled chromosomes. Bless their strong legs and the slatted raft of their ribs. Bless the sweet, slow rhythm of their tenderest sex. the ragged jazz beat of their most furious sex. Bless us descendants as we drag an abandoned armoire to the curb. Bless us and praise us now and forever. Amen.